Hey everybody, it's Yusef for Video Game Plot Summaries, and we are still talking about Spider-Man Web of Shadows. In the last episode, Spidey gets all emotional about Mary Jane getting busted up and reunites with the symbiote. Don't ask how one symbiote can somehow split up between two hosts. That's the least of your problems in this game. Anyway, we ended it off with Spider-Man finding out that Venom was creating more Venom symbiotes to bond with other people in New York so that he could take over the world. Well, at least New York anyway. Alright, back to the plot. And this would be a good time to point out who Venom is. He is a combination of Eddie Brock, a reporter that blames Peter Parker for his failure, and the alien symbiote that Parker brought back from space but then rejected because it made him mad and angry. Venom usually only hates Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but goes out of his way to help innocent people, which Spider-Man would be okay with, but Venom usually goes too far in his heroics. He'd be trying to eat people and stuff. Because the symbiote was bonded to Spider-Man first, Venom doesn't set off Spider-Man's spider sense, which makes it interesting because Venom can creep up on Spider-Man anytime they feel like. I have this comic where it starts off with Spider-Man waking up on a deserted island with Venom because Venom crept up on Spider-Man and knocked him out before the comic started. The game makes it a point to have Venom tell Spider-Man that Eddie Brock isn't even awake inside there. The symbiote is taken over and apparently it just wants more of itself up in there, you know? Now that the symbiotes are becoming an epidemic, SHIELD forces are getting involved and they are starting to quarantine people they believe have the symbiote in them.
Emergency!
What are you doing? You've got infected people in the crowd!
We have orders to detain!
They have alien parasites!
Spider-Man, you are under arrest.
Black Widow? Me? What did I do?
Spider-Man, you are wanted.
Where is she? Why did you take her?
Yo, everybody's in this damn game. Black Widow has her own movie. She's some badass assassin spy that came from a Black Widow program full of Black Widows. Apparently, she's one of the better ones in that program. The comics never really quite know what to do with her. They just kind of make her a pretty redhead who has a relationship with everybody, but she's a spy, so it doesn't seem like she's having a relationship with anyone, if you know what I mean. The movie made it a point to let you know that none of those Black Widows can have kids, so... Anyway, she does not like Spider-Man, and the game didn't do her any favors with this Karen haircut and this angry scowl that she has the whole time. I would think that Black Widow is a little bit more charming, but I guess when Spider-Man shows up and he's all, hey, what's going on? She's just like, nerd. I hate nerds. Even though she looks like a Karen. Electro was in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield and No Way Home with Tom Holland. And sometimes Electro has an electric suit, and sometimes he's a being of electricity. Every time he fights Spider-Man, he always ends up at a power plant or Times Square so he can suck up as much electric juice as he possibly can. The iteration with Jamie Foxx was pretty funny because they tried to make him a really goofy, nerdy black guy, but they couldn't do it, so they gave him an inexplicable comb-over, hoping that the audience wouldn't understand how black people's hair works. Do you know how much hair product I would need to use to make a comb-over happen in my hair? Well, here Electro has an outfit on, but he's pretty mad because the SHIELD took his sister away.
Move in. Target neutralized.
You didn't have to shoot him.
You answer my questions, mister.
Max! Max! That's my brother!
I have news footage of you.
Let go! He's my brother!
No!
You are under arrest.
I know everybody at home was wondering what would happen if Electro had a symbiote. Well, after that episode, Spider-Man gets a call from MJ informing him on the lockdown.
Peter, where are you?
MJ, are you with Luke?
Yeah, I'm fine, but Peter, they're closing the whole city. The cops just told us.
What do you mean, closing?
All the bridges, tunnels, no one leaves, no one gets in. What is happening, Peter?
S.H.I.E.L.D. thinks it's a disease. It's Venom, the thing it's reproducing.
Is it? Peter, are you?
I'm fine.
He heads to the bridge to find that even Kingpin is having a problem leaving the city. I don't know who did the motion capture for Kingpin, but he's got straight up swag. But the voice actor is so hacky. He sounds like he's just graduated from Juilliard and he thought he was reading for Shakespeare. Right, that's a New York accent if I've ever heard one.
Who's in charge here? As a citizen of New York, I demand you open this bridge. I have orders, sir. Manhattan is under quarantine.
See, Kingy, the bridge isn't rated to handle your weight, and...
I know exactly what's going on here. Tell me, how is your little alien companion?
Also, Spider-Man's got more fat jokes, but this Kingpin was designed to be a freaking linebacker. He's huge. The Kingpin points out that there's no other superhero geniuses in New York right now that can solve the problem faster, so he retires to his home to come up with a solution. In the meantime, Spider-Man gets on the phone and tries to track down Reed Richards, or Bruce Banner, or Tony Stark. Someone with a higher genius level than Peter Parker who is actually pretty frickin' smart. Like Deus Ex Machina smart. Like, they always make it a point to show that Peter has already read every genius's report on anything science. He's like the only person who does this, by the way. Yes, Dr. Connors. I read your paper on high-speed cellular reproduction. Except for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He had to be stupid so he could look like some sort of an influencer. He's gonna be a photographer. Maybe the labs at Empire State University don't cover what Spider-Man needs.
Okay, time to do something drastic.
You'll be a criminal.
You'll save the city?
Hey! You want to do the right thing?
It's not that simple.
Of course
Hey! Rikers! It's an island! I need to fly over there! Volunteers?
So Spider-Man's plan is to break into a high-security prison to get out the Tinkerer so that he can get a bomb. I'm not familiar with the Tinkerer, but come on, it's pretty obvious who he is. They give you a path choice on this one, but it's just whether or not Moon Knight or the Vulture take you to Rikers Island. Spider-Man's plan is to let Rhino out of his cell so he can bust up the prison and let Spider-Man into the section where the Tinkerer is. You're given a path to choose in which Spider-Man tells the Rhino to go back to the way he came to freedom, but really it takes him back to his cell. And Black Spidey frees him to use him later as an ally.
To escape, silly! See, when you broke through the wall, you must have triggered an automatic security override protocol that disabled the front gate. But see, I broke the front gate when I came in here. So if you go as fast as you can back the way we came, you'll be home free.
You did something right! For a change. Full speed ahead!
Alright, but I'm gonna need your help later.
What for?
I might need some muscle if I get into serious trouble. If you see any superpower types flying around out there, Just tell him I let you go.
I had a great time, bug boy.
Spidey grabs the Tinkerer and tries to leave.
I'm, breaking you out.
Really?
You've committed about 65 felonies, Spider-Man.
I'll be taking the Tinkerer.
Step back, Vulture. Well done, Spider-Man.
Hi, everybody.
This was his idea.
Vulture, Mr. Fisk, hell, everyone. You are being taken into custody for aiding and abetting.
Ms. Romanoff, surely this crisis calls for extraordinary measures.
I'm trying to save the city.
We are all trying to save this city.
I have the situation under control.
Electro is under control.
Ms. Romanoff, you can follow the book and be the scapegoat. Or you can truly take control.
I am not talking to you, Fisk.
Are your superiors giving you the means to succeed? Or ensuring your failure?
Take Spider-Man and the Tinkerer to the command station at Stark Tower. Let's move! Clear this area!
Well done, Commander.
Get out of here, Fisk.
Little did we know that her superiors did not share the same sense of optimism.
It would seem the cavalry has arrived.
What are they doing?
What idiots in authority always do.
This is nuts.
Perhaps sealing the city might stop it from spreading.
It's up to us now.
The Black Widow, Spidey's new handler, explains that they have camps now for survivors and a home base with a fence that keeps symbiotes out.
Listen, please. I do not have time for chatting or childish jokes.
I thought humor helped people through adversity.
Shut up. Briefing begins now. S.H.I.E.L.D. has prepared this area around Stark Tower as a base of operations.
Stark Tower was that weird structure in the background earlier. I had no idea. When did Stark Tower look like that? Spider-Man spends a lot of time trying to get Black Widow to like him. It's irritating. Like, he doesn't have enough women to impress.
So, what's a nice girl like you doing running an international espionage organization like this, huh?
I have snapped men's necks for saying less to me.
I didn't mean anything by...
What do you need, Spider-Man? I am a busy woman.
I just thought, since we're gonna be saving the world together, that, well, maybe we could get to know one another?
It's pretty weak. Weak sauce. I thought he had a girlfriend. Anyway, the Tinkerer needs things that the Kingpin has to make his bomb. So Spidey heads to Kingpin's tower. Once he gets there, he finds that the tower's defenses are keeping him out of the building. He moves some rods around here and there, which shuts down the defense array.
Kingpin, I cannot believe I'm saying these words, and I cannot believe I'm doing it without a fat joke. But, look, I need your help.
Help? To clean up this mess you made?
Mess? Mess? What? No, we need to move Tinkerer to your building.
I will make you a deal, Spider-Man. Help me out with a few errands, and I will consider helping you.
You want me to do your grocery shopping? I have super strength, but I'm not.
I want you to be my pawn. I want you to know that you saved Manhattan, but only by doing my bidding.
Okay, fine. What do you need?
Restore the defenses on my building. Things here were very secure until just a few minutes ago.
All right, fine. Then we're even.
First errand is to turn back on the defenses. The Tinkerer comes through and reveals his plan.
Here is my plan. Here is my plan. The symbiotes are vulnerable to sound. This device will generate a self-perpetuating sonic wave of 59,000 hertz by converting the light from a plasma detonation into a thermal wave.
You have to amplify that signal as the wave is generated.
That's why it is designed to employ the metal superstructure of a skyscraper, like a tuning fork.
Fine, we're using Stark Tower.
The harmonics will only work on the right kind of alloy. American steel, forged before 1940. Only one building has the right makeup. The Trask Building.
Will it kill all the symbiotes without killing their hosts?
Yes! Now, to complete this project, I require the following. Full access to the facilities here at Fisk Industries, $25 million in cash, a full pardon, and this castle in Italy with this woman from my favorite tool calendar waiting by the pool.
My laboratories are at your disposal, and if you allow me a moment to place a few calls, the castle and girl are yours. But I'm afraid the pardon, and of course the money, are up to my esteemed colleague from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fine! Now, we just have to keep this city from self-destructing.
Hey, this is Editor Yusef. Now, I don't know why, but the writing is getting better as this game is going along. It's actually getting more funny for some reason. Like, the jokes are hitting a little bit more for me as a Spider-Man video game. It's not just Spider-Man doing the quips, but everybody got jokes. So I will be playing more of the cutscenes as the jokes are actually, the writing is better, okay? Time for the next errand. Symbiotes with electric powers are torturing the Kingpin's men, so he sends Spider-Man. Spidey goes to Central Park, of course, where he runs into a huge symbiote pod. They fight. You get to choose whether you want to ally with Electro.
Come on, Electro! Fight it off! Do it! Give it everything you've got! Electro. Max.
Get away from me! She's gone! My sister!
Electro! You unbelievable loser! Fight this thing! Reject it! Tell it to let go of you! Let him go! Let go!
What was that? What is that?
That thing took your sister.
Die, you freak! I need some payback, man. Tell me when. Tell me. Come on!
Oh, you'll get your chance. Soon.
Now, this game is supposed to have your allies with you, right? So you pick the regular Spider-Man, you have different allies than the Black Spider-Man, as you see in these cutscenes where you have a choice. Now, Black Spider-Man has Electro added into his group, whereas regular Spider-Man didn't get Electro or whatever. He sent Electro to jail or to the hospital or whatever. The deal is that all of these, this ensemble of characters are all supposed to work together, you know, at the end for a big explosion. I'm not spoiling anything. It's quite obvious that's what this whole epic adventure is leading to. But if you're not using the allies, then the game backs it up by having you keep going to talk to random people so they can go, I'm holding down things on my sector, you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know, because Spider-Man keeps stopping off there before he continues his story. He keeps checking in with people. So, yeah, that's going on. When Spidey saw the Black Widow last, she told him that Wolverine is dealing with symbiotes at the church. On his way there, he stops in Harlem to talk with Luke Cage and Mary Jane. Mary Jane is ready for that smoke.
I have to get to Wolverine. Just take care of MJ for me.
You know what? MJ can take care of herself just fine. I still have friends out there. Luke and I are gonna go get them, and then we're gonna get out of here. Aren't we, Luke?
Okay.
Wow. Just be careful, okay?
Yo, I'm sorry for taking so many personal interludes, but Spider-Man is a close character to me. I used to read a lot of Spider-Man comics and imagine a bunch of stuff. The one thing that I am assured of with Spider-Man is that Mary Jane Watson is the most awesome woman in all of comics. I mean, she's understanding. She basically lives a cop's wife life, but she handles things all by herself. There's a whole bunch of times where Spider-Man is supposed to save her, and she ends up saving herself, you know? She just goes, I take judo classes at the community center or some junk like that. And look, the first Amazing Spider-Man, the animated series, she got caught in a situation with a bunch of you know, I forgot who the bad guys were. But there was a lot of stuff going on. She was being held hostage, and Spider-Man's there with a couple of other people. They're jumping around. They're trying to stop a computer from being activated, and then Mary Jane is over there. You know, well, we gotta save Mary Jane at the same time. How am I supposed to do this? In the whole situation, while everything's going on, Mary Jane uses the distraction to judo disable the guy who's holding her hostage, and she frees herself. And then she's supposed to be getting with Norman Osborn later, because Norman Osborn's all shook, and she's all like, I need a real man, somebody who can handle business, not just a rich punk like you. That's the dopest shit I've ever seen in my life, yo. You will never find a girl who will turn down $1 million person because they're not man enough for her. You know what I'm saying? They'll just basically make some junk. I mean, I can't even say I'm that stand-up, you know? If a $1 million woman showed up and was all like, oh my God, you were in danger, let me buy you something, I'd be like, sure, I'll take your money. if I'm that hot. Mary Jane would do that stuff. She don't care. There's one time she had a I'm sorry. There's one time she had this job that she had a job where she's in a soap, like she's in a soap. She's weekly soaps. You know those TV shows. And she had a stalker. And this stalker, this is all in Amazing Spider-Man comics. This stalker was steadily, like, while Spider-Man's dealing with the Sinister Six the whole time, she's dealing with this stalker who keeps methodically killing anybody who crosses her badly. Anybody who has an upset situation with her, anytime some junk goes on, the stalker would kill them and then presented himself as the detective that's over her case. And at some point, she found out that he was the detective. The detective was the stalker, and then she lured him in to tell him, oh, well, there's some secrets to the soap, what's going to happen to my character. So he leaned in to hear what was going on. Then she whacked him in the face with her purse and knocked him out. One shot, boy. Mary Jane Watson is a fucking superhero. You can't tell me that. I mean, if you want to tell me that women fly around and have all this power and they're like they got scroll powers in them, that they can control weather and stuff, I'm like, that's cool, that's awesome. Mary Jane she's got the power of being an understanding wife, and she resolves crime conflicts all by herself. When she's supposed to be the damsel in distress, she handles business, and she don't even need Spider-Man. She's just with him because she loves him. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy to me. It's not very often I've seen this sort of love. You know what I mean? Somebody who can protect themselves and do for themselves, But, you know, it's just not done. So to me, that's an ultimate superpower. That's an amazing superpower. You know, she don't need his money. Peter's broke. You know what I'm saying? He's super duper smart. Most of the time, she was the breadwinner, and she knew that Spider-Man was doing her shit. She never looked at him and went, "Oh my God, maybe Peter, you should make a little bit more money because this apartment in Soho is getting kind of expensive." No, she went and got like a better job, and he did his thing, and they were happy, you know? Even if he's Spider-Man, you know? So that shit is never gonna happen in history of reality. Because you want to talk about somebody with a healing factor and claws and all that shit. What won't happen is you finding a significant other that will be okay with you saving the world. The whole dope idea behind Mary Jane is that she's secure enough to be somebody, you know? Even if her husband is Spider-Man, Mary Jane is Mary Jane, and that's all that needs to happen, you know? That's crazy to me. Anyway, let me stop talking about it. Let's get back to this story, or what's left of it anyway. Spider-Man catches up to Wolverine, who has made a trap. He puts civilians in the church, and when the symbiotes come to get them, Wolvie rings the bell, stuns them, and then slices them and dices them. And Spider-Man doesn't quite address Wolverine using people as bait, but they fight it out until the evac comes.
That's it! All aboard!
We got company. I got it.
No, you're just supposed to cut the vines. Whatever.
No!
Okay, how about that for fan service? Spider-Man fights Symbiote Wolverine, and then Symbiote Wolverine levels up to Super Spiky mode, I guess. There's even a QuickTime event because the fight is so long. But of course, Spider-Man prevails in the end. You get two paths for the ending of this fight.
Oh, look, I didn't mean literally get it out. Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah, like hell. I'll be with you in a minute. And thanks.
You're welcome, I think. Boy, talk about cutting yourself down to size.
Yeah, well, I prefer life this way. It's who I am.
Must be nice.
What?
Knowing who you are.
Kill you for this.
Wolverine is safe. Get back here and pick him up.
Thank God for Wolverine's godlike healing factor, am I right? I wonder if he waited for S.H.I.E.L.D. to get there, or if he just used his own arms to reassemble his legs. If he doesn't put his two halves back together, do they grow into two separate Wolverines? All right, if Spider-Man splitting Wolverine straight up in half isn't a good enough place to stop, then I don't know what is. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening to my inane rambling about Mary Jane. I mean, Mary Jane is dope, though. You have to admit. Like, subscribe, and donate. If you like this video, thumbs up. You know how it works. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. Tell me how much I suck. And please help me grow this channel. I mean, you guys freed me like Neo freed Agent Smith. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.